Morning, everyone. Today back with Harry Potter and the Hallows by J.K. Rowling. Let's finish page 88 on chapter 7. Let's continue. Chapter 7. The Will of Albus Dumbledore. He was walking along a mountain road in the cool blue sky of dawn. Far below smoke and mist was the shadow of a small town. Was the man he saw down there? The man he needed so badly he could think of little else. The man who held the answer to his problem. Oi, wake up! Harry opened his eyes. He was lying against the camp bed in one dingy attic room. The sun had not yet risen, and the room was still shadowy. Pigwidgeon was asleep with his head under his tiny wings. The scar on Harry's forehead was prickling. You were muttering in your sleep, was I? Yeah, Gregorich, and kept saying Gregorich. Harry was not wearing his glasses. Ron's face appeared slightly blurred. Who's Gregorich? I don't know. Do you? You were the one saying it. Harry rubbed his forehead, thinking he had a vague idea he had heard the name before, but he could not think of it. Where? I think Voldemort's looking for him. Poor bloke, said Ron fervently. Harry sat up, still rubbing his scar, now wide awake. He tried to remember exactly what he had seen in the dream, but all that came back was mountains, horizons, and outlines of all little villages cuddled in deep valley. I think he's abroad. Who? Gregorich? Voldemort. I think he's somewhere abroad, looking for Gregorich. It didn't look like anywhere in Britain. You reckon you were seeing into his mind again? Ron sounded worried. Do me a favor and don't tell Hermione, said Harry. Although how she expects me to stop seeing stuff in my sleep. He gazed up at little Pigwidgeon's cage, thinking, why was the name Gregorich so familiar? I think, he said slowly, he's got something to do with Quidditch. There's some connection, but I think that what it is. Quidditch? Said Ron. Sure, you're not thinking of Gregorich. Who? Dragomir Gregorich. Chaser, transferred to the Chudley Cannons for record fee 2 years ago. Record holder for the most powerful jobs in a season. No, said Harry. I'm definitely not thinking about Gregorich. I try not to either, said Ron. Well, happy birthday anyway. Well, that's right, I forgot. I'm 17. He seized the wand lying beside his camp bed, pointed at the closest desk where he had left his glasses and said, I see your glasses. Although they were only around a foot away, there was something immensely satisfying about seeing them zoom towards him, at least until they poked him in the eye. Slick, snorted Ron, reveling in the removal of his trace. Harry sent Ron's possessions flying around the room, causing Pigwidgeon to wake up and flutter excitedly around his cage. Harry also tried tying the laces of his trainer by magic. The resultant knot took several minutes to untie by hand, and purely for the pleasure of it, turned to the orange robes on Ron's Chudley Cannons poster bright blue. I'd do your flies by hand, though, Harry advised Harry, sniggering when Harry immediately checked them. Here's your present. Unwrap it up here. It's not for your mom's eyes. A book? Said Harry, as it took the rectangular parcel. Bit of a departure from the traditional, isn't it? This isn't your average book, said Ron. It's pure gold. 12 fatal safe ways to charm witches. Explains everything you need to know about girls. If only I'd had this year, I have known exactly how to get rid of lavender, and I would have known how to get going with. Well, Faye and Jude gave me a copy, and I've learned a lot. You'd be surprised. It's not all about wonderwork either. When they arrived in the kitchen, they found a pile of presents waiting on the table. Bill and Monsieur Delacour were finishing their breakfast, while Mrs. Weasley stood chatting to them over the frying pan. Arthur told me to wish you a happy 17th birthday, said Mrs. Weasley, beaming at him. I had to leave early for work, but he'll back for dinner. That's our present on top. Harry sat down, took the square parcel she had indicated and unwrapped it. Inside was a watch, very like the one Mr. Moses Weasley had given Ron for his 17th. It was gold with stars circling around the face instead of hands. It's traditional to give a wizard watch when he comes of age, said Mrs. Weasley, watching him anxiously from beside the cooker. I'm afraid that one isn't new like Ron's. It actually my brother Fabian, and he wasn't terribly careful with his possessions. It's a bit dented on the back, but the rest of her speech was lost. Harry had got up and hugged him. He tried to put a lot of unsaid things into the hug, and perhaps she understood them, because she patted his cheek clumsily when he released him, then waved her wand in a slightly random way, causing her half a pack of bacon to flop out of the frying pan to the floor. "Happy birthday, Harry," said Hermione, hurrying into the kitchen and adding her own present to the top of the pile. "It's not much, but I hope you like it. What did you get him?" he added to Ron, who seemed not to hear him. "Come on, then, open Hermione's, machin," said Ron. He had bought him a new sneakoscope. The other packages continued on Enchantment's razor from Bill and Flo. "Ah, yes, this will give you the smoothest shave you will ever have," Monsieur Delacour assured him. "But you must tell it clearly what you want, otherwise you might find a little less hair than you would like." Chocolates from the Delacours had an enormous box of the lately with this wizard Oasis and Maternus from the Fred and George. Well, I think we'll leave it here for tomorrow, guys. We'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye!